Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today is Thursday, March 27th, 2014. Let's get right to the SPY. Guys, let's look at some of the levels on the SPY right now. It looks like the 50-day moving average will be some minor support here at this double bottom. You can see this is all just consolidation, but watch out, it's been consolidating for a while, so it might be looking for a breakout in one direction or the other. So keep in mind it is an uptrend on the daily chart as well as all these under indexes. But just keep in mind that the IWM did break the 50-day, so that's something to be aware of. Usually the IWM is a leading indicator, and it is already breaking that. But we did keep note we did make a narrow candle, and usually those usually signify a reversal at support or resistance. Right now there's a support minor. We're at the 100-day moving average. Sometimes traders like to follow the 100-day. I like to follow mainly the 100. The 50-day and the 20-day and the 200, but sometimes they do get bounces off these levels, and it looks like we're at the 50% retrace. But there's no absolute buy signal here, but it's a potential of a bounce here. Let's look at the Qs. I believe already crashed through the 50-day as well, so not where I want to buy right now. This is a head and shoulder pattern right here on the Q. So until it at least hits the minimum target, there's no real reason to really get involved until it actually hits these major support levels. So, to the downside, it looks like we do have more to go. It looks like a little minor gap fill here on the Qs at around, let's see, roughly in the vicinity of $85.70. Let's go back to the SPY and let's go over that before I start jumping around all these indexes. The SPY, just like I said, there's minor support here. I mean, I wouldn't be playing it as even an intraday play anymore because it already kind of got there. You kind of want to play it on the first tag of that, and it's just consolidating here. So nothing to do to go long here. If you're already short, which I've been having a short bias based on some of these stocks like Facebook, Amazon, all of them playing beautifully to the downside. Guys, check out my previous videos. Ford is also a very nice bearish pattern. Hasn't played out yet, but it is coming to play very soon. The SPY, like I said, just banging, consolidating above, just basically on these moving averages, but still waiting for one clear break one way or the other. My buy level for swing trades, once the SPY hits this 200-day moving average, pierces it with this double bottom here at around 174. So that's your only really major level in the SPY to really note on the daily chart. Okay, let's go over to XLF. Kind of briefly went over the other indexes already, like the Qs and the Russell. A beautiful spot right here to go long is pretty simple here. Double bottom here with the 50-day, just for a day trade. This is a day trade for me, just based off the daily chart. This will tell you it will get at least 1 day support here, based off the daily chart. And this is where it broke out to. So watch the XLF here at the 50-day. And this breakout area, it's pretty much a double bottom play, and it does look like it's consolidating above this resistance. Okay, now it's support. It should be support on the bottom. This just that level. The 50-day is currently at roughly, and it will be rising by the time it actually probably gets there, 2170. So look after XLF for support at that level at 2170. Let's look at Amazon.com. Amazon is making that just continue to call out this beautiful patterns. Call this out as a bear flag, and look at it has a little bit more ways to go as the pattern has not hit the target yet, but wow, what a beautiful pierce of the 200. Man, 200 gets taken out. This is going to be very ugly on this chart. I mean, look at this uptrend. Now, look at this. Look at you make a bearish pattern like that into the moving averages like this, off the 50, off a declining 50-day, and then comes crashing back down. Call this out as one of the beautiful patterns. The weekly chart is wow. Look at the weekly chart. Look at it. Oh my God. I don't know if, like I said, technical traders, you don't see. This is exactly what I called out in Ford. I thought Ford was a better play. Ford hasn't played out yet, but this is the potential of the charts. Look at it. Look at this bear flag on the weekly chart, consolidating below the 20-day moving average. I mean, this is a simple bear flag. The angle's perfect. You got a perfect amount of candles inside, playing out to the. Actually, this is the 50-week moving average, so this is going to be support here in the short term. So look for this to hold for the week. If you're selling options, you can sell anything below 328. To be safe, sell something in the 30s, 300s. You'd be selling puts there for weeklies to make for, you want weekly cash flow, weekly income. That's a beautiful way to make money because this is going to hold just based off this chart. I mean, it's really the first tag of the 50-week moving average. So every candle you see is 1 week, right? So it's been riding it. It's getting away from it, coming back to test it. So this is going to hold for a week on the first touch, okay? Even based off the measured move, to take you lower. It could pierce it. It could pierce it intra-week, but it should close on or above the 50-week this week. Okay, so beautiful pattern playing out on Amazon.com. Facebook, actually, to actually fulfill this target to the downside on the daily chart, that head and shoulder pattern I called out. So all these all these calls, I'll draw this out right now fully so you can see it. I mean, this is very simple stuff, head and shoulder patterns, and you can find in any technical analysis book. But when they do play out, just be aware of them and just know the targets and know where to pick them up. Okay, I'll show you where I'm going to pick up Facebook. Very, very simple. If you're a technical, reader of charts. Okay, the measured move takes you actually, that's why I call them these minimum targets. Okay, the minimum target was fulfilled. Got a baby bounce off the 20 moving average. Okay, I'm sorry, the 50-day moving average. That was your minor support. That's why I mentioned that you could buy that as a day trade, and you did get a nice little bounce the next day. Pretty good percentage move there, but that didn't hold. Now we're looking at the major level. The major level right here is gap fill. Let me draw that in where I will be picking this up. Anywhere in this vicinity here, Facebook is a buy. Buy it, 53 bucks. And it also coincides with this pivot low here, 51. And you also have a 200 rising into that. So, the perfect setup would be on Facebook if this actually rose into that gap fill. Wow, that just adds so much more to it. But you like a straight drop. You don't like to see consolidation. Well, if it starts consolidating here, makes another bearish pattern, and then drops into it, it still could be okay for a nice bounce play on Facebook. It does look like it wants to bounce here. Look at this nice. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it does bounce here. Look at this nice. Never usually when you see a good level like this, it never actually gets straight into it. It likes to consolidate, kind of wiggle and dance around, then drop into it, and then you have to really look at the charts again, analyze it once again. But if it does a straight drop after a nice pattern into a beautiful support level like this gap fill, that's a beautiful buying opportunity. But I think it could bounce here. Look at the volume here. It does look like that's a valid reversal candle and pretty decent volume. So let's see if there's follow through tomorrow. But the level I'm looking at for Facebook is 53 bucks. Fill that gap anywhere in this vicinity. You're good to hold it for a week or so, like something like that. A few days or to a week. I will be holding that. And you have the 200 just below price at that point, at that moment, and it will be rising to that level. Let's look at the weekly chart if we can find some more confluences on the bigger time frames, which you always want to do. Yeah, see, that's another reason why it might bounce. Look, it already hit the 20-week moving average. See, this is the trend pretty much, and it is rising, uptrending beautifully. So, this is when you pick up the dips. You always hear the mentality buy the dips, but when do you buy them? You buy them when it hits on an uptrending chart. Hit it when you buy it when it hits support. So beautiful chart on Facebook. Let's go to Twitter. Twitter is acting very weak at the moment. Let's go take a look at that chart. Punch that one up, and we'll go over it. Let's go to daily chart. Beautiful. Wow. I've been calling this is very ugly. It's fading. Calling it on the daily chart. Called out the minor levels right here. Bounce for like one day. Kind of danced around a little bit. Now it's coming in. But once I said, you gotta look at the bigger time frame to hold this for a longer term trade. The bigger time frame does show inside bar pattern. It actually almost got to my level. Sure enough, wow, I got a nice bounce already. But see, this is where people want to pick them up. Not up here, not up here. I was actually selling calls way up in here at the $75 level. So nailed that top perfectly. Now it's coming right back in at the low sub 40s where you want to pick it up. Even at $40, it did trade below 40 at one point. So anywhere in this vicinity, as long as it doesn't close on a monthly basis below this big green bar, wow, you're good to hold that for several months, believe it or not, based off this pattern. I mean, this is where you can hold it for a long term when the bigger time frames are showing a nice pattern like this. So Twitter is absolutely, if you want to start nibbling now, I don't have a problem with it, But notice it already did kind of bounce already. So it's tough to chase it. In the longer term, you might be fine, but in the short term, you could be, you already missed out. But in the long term, you could be, accumulating here if you want to play it for a longer term play on Twitter, from my honest opinion. Okay, let's go over Tesla. Let's go over Tesla's chart. Ooh, look at this. Tesla broke down that descending triangle, and now it is fading beautifully. So, not getting a bounce here. It already bounced here, so that's already the first hit, and it is actually closed below it. But the weekly chart does need to consolidate. So, and it kind of failed actually right here after it broke down this triangle. See that you have to always draw out these patterns and see how it just failed, and now it's getting a big wide range red bar. Unless we close, back up here. By Friday, this could be a breakdown right here. So just look out for the major next levels on Twitter on the weekly chart. This is your breakout area here. So your first level to keep note of on Tesla is 190 pretty much. Okay, these pivot highs here that was made back in 2013 in October and October and September. So these highs right here, look for that to hold. Okay, so that was your breakout area. Look on how beautiful volume. Look at the volume on that candle on that weekly. Okay, weekly candle. So any close actually below that would negate this. Any close below this big wide range bar in a weekly chart will negate that move So that would be looking pretty bearish actually. And to me, that would signal it wants to test the minimally the 20 moving average on the weekly chart. Okay. So that's Tesla. What else I want to take a look at? Google. Google is actually showing a lot of weakness as well. You got to be very aware when the major stocks like this are showing weakness like this. You know, just be aware of that. It's very, very problematic. Okay, and you are at a double bottom here, but you know the area to pick it up, in my opinion, is 200 moving average, pierce with $1,000 price level. Anywhere here, see it's also consolidated here. So let me draw that line in for you guys to pick up Google, maybe for the long side. 200 moving average and $1,000 pierce. Okay, guys, beautiful, beautiful level. Okay, let's go over. Let's see if we can get that to stay. Okay, let's go over. So $1,000 level on Google is your buy. Let's go over Ford. That's my pick, my free pick. And actually, I'm gonna call. I'll actually pick out one more long play. If it gets into Facebook, I'll actually make a call on Facebook right there if it gets into that. Okay, let's go to the weekly chart actually, and it still hasn't played out yet, but the pattern still looks good. Just to see the potential of AMZN.com, that's playing out. Let me check out Citigroup as well. It is actually flat for the week so far, but this pattern is still looking good. I mean, that's crossed. Let me refresh this page as it's kind of stalling on here. Guys, if you haven't checked out the website, xfactortrader.com, there's education there. There's going to be free alerts, more free alerts. I'm going to try to come out with free alerts at least once a week for you guys to see what we're made of. This is one of the free picks right now at our website at xfactortrader.com. Just look under the tab free trade alerts. This is a nice bearish pattern it's going to play out. This is going to take some time. This is one of my favorite ones. Also, Amazon was one of them as well. Like I said before, same pattern on the weekly chart, just consolidating below two. This is two moving averages. That's why I like this one better. But Amazon was a good one as well because it's really hard to call the top, and it's really hard to fight the trend. But when it does make a pattern like this, that's when you give it a shot. And sure enough, you are getting a nice. Actually, Amazon is a short-term support, like I said, for the weekly chart, and just same pattern you're seeing on Amazon.com. That's the potential of the patterns. Okay, let's look at Citigroup. Citigroup as well. I haven't looked at this chart, but look, it looks like it wants to play out. Look at this volume reversal here, trying to break above the moving averages, reverse and higher volume in the weekly chart. And it's only Thursday, so we have one more day until this candle closes. Okay, so keep an eye on that. You have to be very aware. I'm really seeing the cracks in the ice at the moment on some of these charts. Okay, look at Google selling off like that. You have to be very, very, very cautious right now. And that was actually off a big gap down. So wow. Not sure what the news was, but wow, be very cautious on these charts. I might just add these as the free alerts as well, as this can definitely start playing out to the downside. Wow, look at that beautiful consolidation range, and on a bigger time frame, it is showing a bear flag. And look at the volume on that gap down. So wow, something to watch out for on Citigroup. The pattern is nice. It's below moving averages. Watch out on Citigroup, Amazon. Amazon pretty much already played out, but Ford is the next one to go in my opinion, so watch out for those on the short side if those play out. Okay guys, check out the website xfactortrader.com. There's a free trial to our services, 15 days. If you're a swing trader, you want to check out the gold membership. We have videos like this every day, making out beautiful calls, swing trade alerts, and education, which is most important. And we have day traders. There's a silver membership. There's a chat room being built, and that's almost ready to go. Check that out, and a DVD is in the works as well. Okay guys, check us out at xfactortrader.com. I'll update you guys later, and I will let you know what I'm seeing. Facebook, let's go over one more time as a buy area where I'm buying. I might put this on the website. It actually might be right now, but I won't be playing it there. I will be waiting for the gap fill. Okay guys, and your next level will be, so roughly in the $50 level, I'm picking up Facebook. Okay, anywhere in this vicinity with this 200 moving average, I'm picking up Facebook. It's not a set alert yet. I like to make my alerts absolute. I don't like to have losing trades when I give out free alerts. So if I see something that's 100%, up to a 90, 100%, there's nothing 100%, but a 90 to 95% chance of a winning trade, I will post that and I will let you guys know. Okay, guys, have a great evening on this fine Thursday. Great profits this week. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.